going to come back and talk to Ozzy, but right now we're going to play Slayer, Raining Blood. We're on the Headbangers Ball. We've got Ozzy Osbourne as our guest, and we are going to talk more with Ozzy in just a little bit. You just saw White Zombie with Feed the Gods, and that's something that appears on the Airheads soundtrack. And while we're on the subject, this Tuesday at 10 p.m., we've got a special edition of the Headbangers Ball. This is very cool, especially for the Headbangers Ball to be on Tuesday night. Tuesday night, 10 p.m. here on MTV. We're going to hook up at a private little club in L.A., and we're having this big Airheads party. We're going to talk to all the stars from the movie Airheads. One of you got to be a co-host with me at the Airheads party. Whoopee! And get the money and getting to see a performance of White Zombie. A whole bunch of fun stuff. That'll happen this Tuesday at 10 p.m., so be sure to watch it. And right now, let's play something else from the Airheads soundtrack. This is Motorhead with Born to Raise Hell. $5. Next Saturday, Headbangers Ball is coming to you from Woodstock. And this Tuesday, 10 p.m., MTV, Headbangers Ball at the Airheads big party in L.A. with performances from White Zombie. It's going to be very cool. Right now, we're here with Ozzy Osbourne. So the farewell tour is done. You're right now working on some stuff, obviously. It wasn't a farewell. You do miss going back out there.
It's my life. It's what I do.
Because everybody's happy. That's good.
I'm happy. It's okay being like a retired person, but then retirement to me is when they're putting soil over the pine box. You know, that's retirement. I mean, and I'm far from that yet. You know, I mean, I just miss my people. You know, I miss the craziness. I miss the audience. I miss the band. I miss the excitement. I miss not going to sleep with my head full of screaming tinnitus all night long, you know.
And the last time I saw you was at a Guar show.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a trip because you don't get to go to very many shows.
I don't go, but Zach says, you've got to go and see this show.
And you loved it.
I was just like, it was really entertaining, especially that guy who had that contest to set his head on fire.
Yeah, they do a thing if you haven't gone to the Guar show where they invite audience members at the starting to get put in the, gosh, I wish I could remember what the machine is. Something that they put everybody in, I don't remember. But they invite people from the audience, and this guy...
What you gotta do the goofiest thing. And this one guy gets on stage, sets fire to his head with
just a kid from the audience.
Yeah, with lighter fuel. But now they can't get this guy's head out from the flames, man. It was the best pyro show I ever saw.
It was great.
Where do they get the blood from? They must have a container at the back of like 50 billion gallon tank.
Because it gets squirted everywhere.
I mean, it's like gallons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gallons.
But you had a good time at the Guar show. Are there any other bands? So you don't get to see shows that much?
I don't go. I'm really a television addict. I just stay in my room. I'm kind of like a hermit. I don't go out much.
So what are the TV shows that Ozzy watches?
Documentaries, you know. I like watching. I mean, you got more documentaries in the States than we have in England, but now we've got cable in England. It's getting a lot better.
So there's 70 channels with nothing to watch as opposed to 12 channels with nothing to watch, which is so great. We're going to come back and we're going to talk to Ozzy. Still on the way, we've got videos from Offspring and videos from Megadeth. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Headbangers Ball. We've still got classic Megadeth on the way, so you're going to want to stay tuned to watch that. And here with Ozzy. So right now, in the writing stages, what is it? Would Steve come up to you with some music and then you throw some lyrics into it?
Well, it's like, I'd never worked with Steve. Steve had never worked with me, although I'd admired him and he'd admired me from a distance for a long time. And we just seeing what comes out of it. We've completed 1 or 2 songs so far, which I'm very impressed with. But Steve writes songs in all day. You know, he'll spend it all day. He's like, he's a musician, quote musician. You know, I mean, he's a very accomplished musician. Man, I must add at this, I'd heard a lot of rumours that Steve Vai was a very awkward guy to work with and all that, and I find him great. You know, I find him really. I mean, I don't know where it comes from, but
or maybe you're both just awkward guys.
Maybe we're both. Yeah, that's probably right. You know?
2 awkward guys. It works perfect. Now, also, you did a little bit of acting, or you're going to be doing some?
Yeah, no, well, I just did it because I said to Sharon, you've got to get me some work. I said I'd do, you know, adverts or anything. Just get me some work. And so, because when the Jerky Boys came out with that record, which is one of my favourite records,
hilarious.
Just because it's the funniness of it. I mean, I had an opportunity to play act a small cameo part, which I'm not an actor, but I just did it for a goof, you know. And so I came to New York about 3 or 4 weeks ago and did this part in New York. And I'll tell you the essence of the story, right? In the film, they do these prank phone calls, but they hit on the mob, right? And the mob decide to get their revenge, and so they're chasing them around the world. And they run into me in a nightclub, and I'm a band manager. And I've got a very small part, but it was a lot of fun. And I met the guys, and they were very nice guys. And it was very
Got to meet the Jerky Boys.
I mean, I know what they look like.
One of the few. We're going to come back and talk to Ozzy. Right now, we're going to play a band that I hate to say at MTV. I kind of told you so on this one. Glad this band is doing good. They've got a record out called Smash. It is a smash, and you might also want to check out the record that came out prior to this, Ignition, which is equally good stuff. This is Offspring with Come Out and Play. Ball with Ozzy, and it wasn't on here on MTV, but the last time I spoke to you, you were promoting this comic book.
Yeah, I'm still baffled about that. I mean, comic book about Ozzy Osbourne. It's like, I'm very honored, but it's kind of like.
But it doesn't have you like being the story of Ozzy. Doesn't it have you as like a superhero, sort of?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I've never sat down and read it. You know? I was honored that somebody did it, you know, and I stood in a shop in Los Angeles signing thousands and thousands of comics. I mean, I got to the point where I got sick and tired of seeing this muscular bodybuilder.
It's got Ozzy all like cut with abs and muscles.
I mean,
and
yeah. If I only looked like that young and that, you know, and that fit, you know. But it's great, you know. I mean, and I feel honored, you know. Plus, I got my first Grammy this year, which is another little.
Which is nice.
Which is nice, yeah.
Another milestone. What are the things that are out there that you think that you haven't done that you would like?
I have never had an American #1 album.
Never?
Never.
How high did No More Tears get?
I think that's about number 6, but it's hung around for a long time.
Because No More Tears, I mean, judging that record was put out after your career had been there you've been doing this for a long time. No More Tears was the biggest selling Ozzy record ever, wasn't it?
Yep, for the period of time that it was out. But Blizzard of Oz over the years has sold more. But my catalogue continues to sell. Even the Sabbath. I mean, I'm in a big mystery. I'm very honoured once again about what the early Sabbath stuff being this influence to a lot of the people come up to me and say, "What you know, when you wrote Symptom of the Universe, when we wrote all that stuff, we were out of our minds on one thing or another."
I want to talk to you about some of the old Sabbath stuff when we come back and talk to Ozzy. And also when we come back, we're going to talk to a band that was a band that I was listening to a real lot in the 80s. And if you listen to bands like Prong, obviously the influences were always there when you hear Prong. We're talking about the band Killing Joke. Well, they are back, and they have got a new video, and we're going to play it in a little bit. We're back with Ozzy, and we were just talking about some of the old Sabbath stuff. And lately, there's always been a lot of interest in the old Sabbath stuff. But there's a Sabbath tribute record coming out. There's a Sabbath song on the new Pantera album. White Zombie's got a Sabbath song that they did. I mean, are you excited about a lot of this new stuff? Or have you heard the Sabbath tribute stuff?
In actual fact, I'm singing Iron Man on that Sabbath tribute. They're called Therapy, is it? I'm singing a song on one of their. I'm singing one of the old Sabbaths, Iron Man. But you know what? Since I've left Sabbath, I've played with some of the greatest guitar players, some of the greatest bands I've had, but no one ever played it for me when I've sang it the same as the original formula. I mean,
see, that raises a question. When during the farewell show, the last show especially, was amazing because it was the Sabbath reunion. It was the first Sabbath reunion. And the thing that was so nice was you let me introduce. So I go out on stage in front of like 20,000 people, and these are people that just could not wait to see the Sabbath reunion. And here's like me going, "Hi," and Sabbath is coming up, and then you're like, stall for about 15 minutes. And I'm like, I didn't want to be out there, period, because these people wanted to see the Sabbath reunion. I'm like, so Sabbath is coming up. It's like, stall for another 10 minutes. I'm like, no, I don't want to be here anymore. And I mean, the show was amazing. It was amazing.
I mean, I mean, I never rehearsed with them. I hadn't seen them from the day before. I hadn't seen them for years. And when I went on that stage, it was as if I'd never left them. I mean, I don't know. I think God made us be together or whatever.
Well, the Sabbath tour was supposed to happen. Everybody was talking about it.
Yeah, well, what happened was, my wife's my manager, and each and every one of them has got their managers, and the politics got involved with the reunion, and it became too much of a problem. And when I said, all we've got to do is get up there and play, and then everybody was sending 8 million faxes, and I just said, I really don't want the headache. Either we're going to do it or we're not.
Either go play and then...
I mean, no, it's so, I want this, I want that, I want a bodybuilding, black belt karate chef and whatever. It's like, I just said, forget it, man. I mean, I want to go and play. I don't want, the politics. My wife. That's one thing that I did do right, was marry my wife. That is also. I mean, I love her as a wife, but I love her being my manager as well. But because she's good at both. Very good. But everyone's got their manager, and so it's like. If my wife didn't do the best for me as my manager, I would want to know what's going right or wrong, So everybody else having their managers was trying to do the best for their client, So it ended up being like a free-for-all, and it was like the fax machine was like committing suicide every day. It was like, don't send any more messages,
We have to go. Thanks for stopping by. Are we going to hear some new... as soon as we hear some new stuff, you will come down and do like the proper...
I'll be here with
send us out again to shows.
Straight off the press.
Send us to shows again.
And listen, the motto is, keep your ears to the ground, because Ozzy's still around.
There you go. Don't forget, 10 o'clock also, this Tuesday, Headbangers Ball is going to be at the big Airheads show, Airheads Party. We're going to talk to cast members of the movie Airheads. We're going to hook up with White Zombie. We're going to hook up with one of you. And it's going to be fun, so stay tuned for that. And again, thanks again, Ozzy. It was definitely
my
great.
pleasure, anytime with you.
Okay, next week. Here's Killing Joke with Millennium.